followed by the seat bucket.
This hand wheel releases the entire ejection seat so that we can take out the seat bucket. It's damn tight in here. We must be careful to not leave any parts in the cockpit.
From here, it's all muscle. The seat bucket and ejector module weigh around 116 kilograms.
We need 3 guys for this part because it's very heavy, and we have to be careful.
Another valuable recyclable leaves the jet. In a matter of days, this ejection seat could be installed in an active F-4 Phantom. For the next month, the breakdown goes into overdrive. Technicians remove the canopies from both cockpits. The landing gear is next to go. Then, Captain Nastula and his crew set their sights on the biggest prize of all, the engines. The engines are the most valuable parts on the jet. Each could sell for close to $1 million. They also weigh about 2 tons each. If they can get them out intact, they've hit the jackpot. It takes at least 5 specialists, a hydraulic lift, and a lot of elbow grease to remove them.
We gotta line up the lift with the engine so it fits perfectly.
Und festgemacht werden.
Once they remove the screws, the engines slide out in one big piece. From here, every engine gets another checkup. Jet engine mechanics Rainer Friese and Frank Zierat inspect every engine's interior using an optical tool known as a borescope. The borescope is a snake-like camera that helps them find tiny hairline fractures, foreign objects, and anything that can be a potential hazard. If an engine needs a fix, these are the guys to do it. But not in this case. These engines are headed for an active fighter jet. The F-4 Phantom breakdown is in full swing. The cannon, ejection seats, canopies, landing gear, and engines have all come off and are on their way to the recycle bin. Next up, the wings. The crew will remove the outer wing panels from the jet. Mechanics at another base await their arrival. And to do this, they must pull out slender steel bolts sandwiched between the inner and the outer wing flaps. Removing the wing is labor-intensive, requiring multiple specialists. But the job usually takes no more than 2 hours. The crew uses a specially designed tool called a puller to remove the bolts.
The bolt is under heavy tension and we have to pull it out right now.
We're giving the smallest guy the toughest job, huh? Well, he volunteered.
Fertig?
But the bolt won't budge. What should be straightforward is turning into a major challenge.
The difficulty, as you can see right now, is with the bolt. With older aircraft that are exposed to weather, you get corrosion.
The bolt isn't going anywhere. And now, Captain Nastula discovers he's got the same problem on another breakdown project. A crew working on this Tornado fighter jet can't get the wing off either. There's only one thing left to try: liquid nitrogen.
It's very dangerous. You have to know what you're doing.
Captain Christian Nastula helps another crew remove the wing from a retired Tornado fighter jet. Liquid nitrogen is needed to remove the bolt that attaches the wing to the airframe. Another base wants to install the wing in an active Tornado. The Tornado is Europe's homegrown fighter plane. It was designed in the 1970s as a low-level supersonic ground attack bomber. Like the Phantom, the Tornado is no longer in production. So parts from these retired jets are extremely valuable. Removing the bolt without damaging the wing is tricky. The bolt is about 21 centimeters thick and made of an alloy of different metals. Cutting, welding, or torching it would damage both the wing and the bolt. But specialists at Jaeger have adopted a technique for removing it. The solution involves liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen is extremely cold, about 198 degrees below zero. Poured on metal, the extreme cold usually shrinks the bolt enough so that it can be pulled out. But handling liquid nitrogen is dangerous. It can cause severe cold burns if it comes in contact with skin. That's why Master Sergeant Marco Franzen runs the operation. He's been doing this job for 17 years.
You have to have experienced guys doing this, because it's very complicated.
Once again, Captain Nastula calls in the fire brigade. When the tanks are full, the pressure's on. Master Sergeant Franzen and his crew need to use the nitrogen and their time wisely. The countdown begins. It could take at least 20 minutes before anything happens.
You'll know if it's working when the bolt starts to look white and icy.
Now, all Captain Nastula and the Tornado crew can do is wait. Across the base, the breakdown crew still struggles to remove the wing from the F-4 Phantom. The bolt won't budge. Another specialist puts some muscle into it. Finally, the bolt gives way. It was a tougher job than everyone expected. The crew must hustle to break it down. The wing might be needed for another plane. It's been 20 minutes, and the bolt inside the Tornado wing still hasn't budged. Captain Nastula is getting concerned that the liquid nitrogen might not be working. A creaking sound. It's a good sign. The bolt shrinks just enough. The crew can now remove the bolt without damaging the wing. Captain Nastula breathes a sigh of relief. The breakdown is on schedule and nobody got hurt. Back at Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, fighter pilots are about to test new missiles in a simulated dogfight. The enemy? An unmanned F-4 Phantom that's been converted to a military target drone. It could return to base in one piece, but it could also end up blown to bits over the Gulf of Mexico. Simulating a dogfight safely and effectively is a major undertaking. It takes a crew of more than 60 to get the job done. 6 fighter pilots are already suiting up.
You guys like to remove the patches, simulate you're going to war. kind of a pre-game ritual.
Major Doug No-Joe Riggs is one of Tyndall's top fighter pilots.
G-suit, it's got an air bladder. You can actually blow it up. Keep it from passing out when you're under G's.
Although the objective is not to shoot the drone out of the sky, it's a tough temptation to resist.
Makes a big explosion. It's fun to watch as it's going down.
Checks good.
As commander for this mission, it's Lieutenant Colonel Ron Stuff Miller's job to coordinate the drone and manned planes. He'll escort the target drone to the flight zone, where the dogfight will take place.
Any aspect the shot may occur from shooting in front of the drone, which is the red aircraft in this case, or shooting from behind the drone, from the beam of the drone, below the drone, or above the drone.
They're just minutes away from takeoff.
I'm hoping that one of the missiles gets a lucky shot, takes out the stab or the wing of the F-4, in which case it's injured and it's out of control, and they'll need to use me as the chase pilot to roll in and gun it. And if that happens, then you get to see it blow up, and that's kind of what every fighter pilot dreams.
Major Riggs will shoot at the target drone in an F-16, also known as a Viper. It's loaded with 2 live AMRAAM 120 missiles.
It's an active missile. This is the newest model, one of our most expensive missiles. This one today will be shot at the QF-4, as long as nothing goes wrong. The warhead has been taken out and removed and replaced with a telemetry kit. Here's the tracker pod. This is what the guys on the ground will be using to see where our position is. You excited? Oh yeah, I am. It's nice and cool.
The guys on the ground are the controllers who operate the unmanned target drone. They're central to this mission. Two backup controllers are stationed along the runway. They're there just in case the drone gets damaged and needs to be landed manually.
And Westone X-ray, what final altitude we'd like to set?
Lead controller David Jacobs will pilot the drone remotely. He has no visual on the drone, only what he sees on the screen. The star of this operation is the F-4 Phantom target drone. It's equipped with a telemetry kit that will beam valuable information about missile trajectories back to Central Command. The drone's headed for the runway start. Typically,